Welcome back once again here on the Roundtable program. As we give thanks leading up to our Thanksgiving holiday, Honor Flight Northwest Ohio came to mind this week. Glad to have President of Honor Flight Northwest Ohio with us, Lee Armstrong, joining us. And does that make sense to you when we put Honor Flight together with giving thanks this year?
I think it does, because basically we survive based on donations, and since the 98% of everything we collect goes right back into the flight, I mean, so donations are our lifeblood. And we've had just a really kind of amazing run. We just finished our sixth year. Yeah. And we've done 32 flights, and I'm really excited that we didn't know how many we were going to do next year. We were kind of limited, and we have a long waiting list of a large number of Korean and Vietnam vets we'd like to get to too, as well as World War II. And
in the 6 years, what's amazing to me, Lee, is the fact that in the 6 years that you guys have done this, 4 of it have been an unbelievable economic burden on everybody, and still you're getting donations, because this continues to be, I don't want to say Honor Flight's 2013 was the feel-good story of the year, because it continues to be a feel-good story. Yes?
Yes, and I think that's what keeps us going. I mean, half of the board members, and myself included, had our dads were World War II veterans, and they passed before they had a chance to see it. And that's how we all got involved, most of us. And like I said, I was on the very first flight, and I was hooked after the first flight. And I've been doing it ever since. And it's a lot of most of us work, and so we do a lot of it after hours. I mean, a lot at evening time. I do probably 4 hours every night, 7 days a week.
But our Washington Bureau has been there to see these veterans go through these memorials. And you don't even need to tell a story for the video that we get back. To see the looks on the faces, you've been there. You've seen those looks that they're getting. And that's kind of the impetus behind trying to continue this. How's it looking for 2014 right now?
Looking very good. We were kind of concerned. We were looking at probably 2 flights. And this week alone, I think with the government closure, and the Veterans Day too, of course, November's a big month, and with those 2 combined, I think it raised awareness again. And as a result, like I said, last week we probably brought in a little over $45,000 in 1 week.
Holy cow.
We haven't done that in a long time. That almost covers a flight. So
now where these are coordinated efforts that are bringing this money in. How's this all coming in?
Yeah, we don't have a fundraising arm or anything like that. What will happen is groups, veterans groups, schools, even private businesses and stuff will contact us. Even large businesses will contact us and say, hey, we'd like to do a fundraiser. So we screen it to make sure it meets, we have certain criteria we establish to maintain the integrity of the program. And then when they do the program, we monitor it to follow IRS regulations to make sure it's legally done. And it's just a pouring. The schools have been tremendous. We've had individual donors. We even had one donor a few years ago that actually paid for an entire flight herself in memory of her dad. Yeah, and we've just even $1 donations. I get envelopes when I go to the post office. $1 donations. I just got one last week from one lady that her husband was on a flight a few years ago that passed and gave us $4,000. I mean, and then you look at the big businesses like St. Andrew's Church is a good example. Pancake breakfast last weekend. They brought in over $13,000 for a pancake breakfast. I mean, and then Schmuckers, who gave us 10. I mean, there's just a lot of groups continuously doing that. That keeps us going. Yeah,
those stories we covered, I know, here on 13 ABC. So as you guys look to cater once again to the different theaters, I mean, as you look forward, the flights are done for this year, obviously, but you guys start again when in 2014?
Good question. We actually can't wait to, well, we have to wait to the first year because we have to do the logistic scheduling of the buses. That's the biggest thing. The aircraft is pretty easy to schedule because logistic-wise it's much easier. But buses and
but how do you guys just, let me ask you quickly because this comes to mind, how do you guys tackle the fact that we continue to do the stories, we fly and we see prices going up, so how does it work? Is there any leeway, or are you paying the same kind of prices we are to get these veterans on the planes?
We have, because of contractual stuff, not necessarily contractual, more of an understanding that we get from the businesses stuff. A lot of them will donate stuff, like our medical supplies. We have a lot of veterans on a flight to go that need oxygen. They can't bring their own oxygen containers with us, so we have a group that donate the concentrators that are allowed to fly in the aircraft, and then we get the DC side of volunteers that actually bring us, that volunteer all the oxygen for us. And that's a substantial savings. We take our own wheelchairs. We have about 60 wheelchairs in our possession that we take with us on the flights to make sure that it's accompanying. So we find ways to be money saving.
Kind of curb the cost.
And then we also work with a group out of Maine who's is like our contract for logistics wise, and he helps me coordinate the aviation portion of that. and then I coordinate all the buses and all the other places we go and all that stuff too.
So let's get into 2014. I'd asked you about when these flights start up again and what theaters you guys are looking to cater to.
Yeah, we should know by the first week of March when our flight dates will be this year and how many flights we're going to do. We are looking easily toward 3. We'll try 4. It all depends on see how the donations go the next couple months.
What's a banner year as far as the number of flights you guys have been able to do? 6. Okay.
And that's a lot of flights. We did last year. We did a Vietnam flight. It was in October, and it was really a great flight. And it was strictly all Vietnam. We have a waiting list, like I've mentioned before. We'll take the We'll take the World War II first, and we've always taken Korean. We've been taking Korean since day one, but we filled them in as during World War II as they had openings, and then more so this year we've had an outpouring of World War II veterans. I had more World War II veterans this year come out, and I didn't know why. Like they'd never heard the program before. It's like shocking. You know, it's like after 6 flying seasons they would have heard of us and all the media that you guys have done for us, and they just don't come out like you think they would.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the theater. We're looking at World War II first. We have over 380 Korean on the list. Our goal is to get them off the list and get them flying this year. That's our goal, and we'll fill in the flights accordingly with if we have extra flights.
Yeah. Reason for Northwest Ohio's honor flight to really give thanks this year, you think?
Yeah, I just because of the outpouring of the people,
Yeah.
it just in the businesses, they're caring for their veterans, and I think as long as we can if we can keep that, bottle this up for November and keep it year round, I think it'd be a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Because I think this is a nice way to recognize all veterans of all wars and all campaigns.
But just to go back on 2013 for just a minute, and then we'll let you go. But obviously, a little bit of trepidation with the government shutdown and looking back on that. I mean, you guys went full steam ahead no matter what.
Yeah, I was pretty outspoken on it, but I was professional. I wrote a lot of emails to the presidents and Speaker of the House and to our et cetera, et cetera. And I got a lot of media campaigns. So it's funny, when we pulled up there, the Park Service actually came out to the bus and greeted us and escorted us into the memorial.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any storming the gates or any of that stuff, which I was glad that didn't happen because I was thinking of the safety of the veterans.
Right.
It did curtail some of the stuff because we had other organizations not affiliated with us that caused some issues while we were there, that caused other blockages and stuff like that. But it really opened, I think, everybody's eyes to the fact of veterans again, and I think we need to remember to keep that to the forefront.
And the greater good and the bigger
Exactly,
picture,
the bigger
definitely.
picture.
Lee, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Happy holidays, happy
to you.
Thanksgiving to you, and continued good work with Honor Flight of Northwest Ohio. We want to remind you, as we give thanks to this holiday season, 13 ABC, glad to bring you once again the Hope for the Holidays Toy Drive, asking you to bring in unwrapped toys, drop them off at a number of locations, including our station right here at 13 ABC, 4247 Dorr Street, corner of Dorr and Richards. You can also go to our website, 13abc.com, to find out those drop-off locations. Last year, all of you out there in Northwest Ohio were able to donate 18,000 toys that went out through the Salvation Army and were delivered to those who needed some help. That holiday season, we're looking to do it again this year. Then we have a big drive-through event coming up on December 6th. A reminder as well, 13abc.com is a place to go. You can read up about our past shows here on the Roundtable. You go over to the Community tab and click on the Roundtable page, and you can read up about our past guests and topics. We always appreciate you spending time and give thanks for you spending time with us each and every Sunday here on the Roundtable. My name is Jeff Smith. We'll see you again tomorrow morning on 13 ABC Action News. Good morning. As we all work with this short week, looking forward to spending time with our families and friends on this Thanksgiving holiday. Take care. We'll see you next time.